Hari Om, Swami Satchitananda here. We say there are 4 stages of life, okay? In the Shastras, we say there are 4 stages. First is called Brahmacharya. That is the time of your education, learning your skills, putting your attitudes in place, putting the value system into place. These are stage number 1. Stage number 2 is called Grahasthi. Grahasthi means a householder thing, where you are associated with member of the opposite sex, and you are building a family, and you are trying to reach your ambitions in life, okay? Trying to get the things that you need, that you want, you're trying to get those things. So, and develop the children, let them grow up well, put them in a independent position, and so on and so forth. So this is called Grahasthi. Third stage is called Vanaprastha. Vanaprastha means you detach yourself and go to the forest. Okay? That means after a particular time, your engagement in all the activities does not really help you. And the last stage, of course, is where you detach yourself for a spiritual process so that you can grow spiritually. It's called sannyasa. Okay? I want to speak about this area called Grahasthi because most of us are involved in this second ashrama. Okay? If not today, tomorrow. If not today, at least in the past. So we have been involved in that. So it is said, and you have to think about it, that when, a boy and girl, man or woman, get married or they want to cohabitate in some partnership, then there is some piece of advice that we give to such people at the time of marriage actually. And this, it goes something like this, okay? First is that please understand the essential relationship between two people in this householder's job that you have taken up. The essential relationship should be one of friendship. It is not for enjoyment. It's not to legitimize certain activities in which we procreate. Okay? So those are part of it. But the main relationship should be one of friendship. That means between two people, you should have a relationship of equality. You should treat the other person in a way that the other person gets as much opportunity as you do, and you are living for the other person is living for you. Okay? And this is very easily said, of course, but it's very difficult to actually do, because Grahasthi is a situation where it gives the biggest learning in terms of life. So apart from the fact that you should have a relationship of friendship, it arises of the very simple fact that over a period of time you will change, she will change, she will change, you will change. There is no point in going and telling, why have you changed? The question is, change will occur. So in spite of all those changes occurring, what is it that will hold you? Initially you are interested more in the physical aspect. Later on goes more to caring, companionship, right? A feeling for each other, supporting each other. These are things that we look for. So if you are going to focus on the physical aspect more than what is necessary, then these relationships are not going to hold up. Unfortunately, when you look at the world outside, this is what is happening. The initial falling in love is more a perception of how good looking a person is or whatever it is, which is visual in nature. Very few people actually go into looking at what are the values of the other person, how do you think he will behave, and so on and so forth. So they say love is blind. Sure, love is blind. But if you get into a long-term association, you have to look through many more aspects than just the outside physical appearances. Since people don't go into this deeply, you will see that the number of marriages or partnership, whatever you want to call it in today's terminology, they break up. Breaking up is considered very, very normal nowadays. It's not even an abnormal thing, very normal. Yeah. So this is because that equality of relationship is not there. Okay? And what happens is that one party, one person tries to own the other person practically. Right? Through the ego, you try to own the other person. And then you say, you can do this, you cannot do this, you can. Most of the time, barriers are put. And instead of coming to an area where you should be experiencing freedom, you actually experience bondage. Right? This is the reality as we see it. So that's why we tell them, don't focus on the physical aspects. Focus on something which is, understand changes will occur. And if you're holding friendship as a relationship that you want to continue, then you will be able to handle many, many problems. Also, this cohabitation or this grahasti period of life is when you get all the lessons of life. Irrespective of the money you have, irrespective of the resources you have, irrespective of the education that you have, irrespective of the good looks that you have, there is a certain thing which you have to experience from life. Right? And life teaches you many, many things during this period. So it is actually, from a spiritual point of view, we say this is a learning ground. This is a learning ground for your spiritual progress. Okay? Because you look at your own self, and those of you who have been married, you see the type of problems that have come up. Emotional problems, physical problems, relationship problems, relatives problems, money problems, everything that you want to see, everything that you can imagine seems to happen over there. So this is a grahasti is a period where the problems come up. And you have to learn to deal with those problems, right? If you don't deal with the problems properly, then what happens is you come again back to the same story where the number of unpleasantness in your life is very high. Once in a while you experience some happiness. And you're not coming into a relationship with another person to experience a little bit of happiness. You want lots of happiness. You want a lot of enjoyment of life. But that does not happen because we have not understood the basic relationship. You cannot make the other person less than you. You cannot. There is no need to put the other person above you. There is no need to take any other stand except a relationship of equality. If this happens, the main purpose of grahasti is, of course you should grow. That's the reason why you are associating with somebody else. But the other person also should grow. Now in many places what we see is one person or the other is just suffocated, and now there is no question of growth. There is tremendous pain in that. Tremendous amount of pain is there. So we have to understand that this period when we associate with the opposite sex and have children, grow them, and live life, the basis of that relationship has to change. Now, because that has not changed and we have focused on the physicality, you can see the havoc it has caused into the whole system of the unit family, into the havoc that is caused among children, right? Because you may have taken some stance which you think is good for you, and because you find that your relationship with your partner is toxic, you leave it and go away. But what about the effect on the child? You're leaving a deep mark on the child's face. Deep mark on the child's face. In the psyche of the person. So, grahasti is a place where any kind of problem, every kind of problem comes up. Right? For this to be maintained, you have to focus on a relationship with a person at the beginning of the association that we will treat each other equally, we will grow together. I will give to you without expectation, and in response, you will give without expectation. This is very good in saying, but it doesn't happen. But you see, among friends, this is what happens. This is what happens among friends. All right? And this is what we need to incorporate into this Grihastha relationship. A father or mother should be friends with the children also. A children whose parents are friendly will have a better atmosphere for studies, for growing, than in a situation where they are not friendly. So the best relationship you can have with a child is a friendly relationship. You don't mistreat the child. You don't treat the child because it's small, you can do anything you want with it. You treat it with respect. We have certain communities in India where they say G. G is normally said for elder people and with respect. They call the small child, Haan ji, boliye, say, with respect. It is a part of the culture. So you have to be able to communicate and talk using this as the basic platform. Otherwise, this Grihastha can be a period of turmoil and pain and you can name it. Everything that you don't want in life happens there. And we say that is life, let's accept it. No, it's not life. We can change it. Also, another significant aspect that we must understand about this period called Grihastha is that it is a learning period for a spiritual life later on. And here, Karma Yoga is used to learn. Because the problems are many, different kinds of problems will come, a lot of effort is there to get results. Karma Yoga as a principle has to be used. Now, I don't know whether all of you are aware of Karma Yoga and what requires to be done in that. But very simply put, it consists of two parts. One part is your action and the other part is your result. All right? Now, most of us sincerely believe that if I do action to the best of my ability, I should get the result. No. There is no guarantee for that at all. Because if you really look at it, you will find that what you have put in is 25% of the total thing around. Because atmosphere and the people and things around you, including the universe, contribute a lot to what you have put in. But the ego says, no, I have done. Okay? In reality, if you understand that, you are putting in your best, doing your best. But the result may not come because you are putting your best. Okay? Because you are one part of the input that has been given. On the result part, you should know, as Krishna says, that result may come 100%, result may come 50%, result may come 0% or 5%. Okay. In all these, you will be motivated to act again. If you receive 100%, you want more. If you achieve 50%, you want more. If you achieve 0, you want to change it and you want more. All right? So, the maximum tension in Grihastha arises out of two things. One is the expectation of the result. Okay. And the other one is the action itself. Right? Taking ownership for the action as if you are the only contributor of that action. So in Karma Yoga we say, offer that action to your God, offer it to Jesus. Tell him, you please do it for me. I'm trying to do to the best of my ability. Please do it for me, grateful. And do whatever best you want. On the result side, if whatever result you are getting, suppose you are getting only 0%, right? We call it prasada buddhi. When we go to Indian ashrams and temples, you will get prasada, sweet, which is offered to the deity or guru, whatever it is. And after that, they give it to you and they say, this is prasad. Some ashrams sell prasad also nowadays. Actually, it's supposed to be given free. Because that is the offering made. Of course, God will not eat. He doesn't need your prasad. But there is a blessing. And he says, okay, now I can take. So you give it to other people as prasad. In the similar way, your results you have to accept as prasad. Whatever is given, if it's good 100%, you have achieved fantastic, and you don't go out, get drunk, and go and bash up your new car. No. Because you achieve 100%. At the same time, if you achieve nothing or little, you don't go into a deep depression and say, I'm no good, I cannot do, I'm incapable, and all that kind of thing. Whichever is given, okay, thank you for the prasad. I'm very grateful to you, and I will try and do again. Please be with me. So both these ends of action input and result, if both these are taken care of and consistently done over a long period of time, you will become a karma yogi. And you will be able to manage the tumultuous waves of grihastha, tumultuous waves of relationships, of money, of all sorts of growing people. It's a complicated world. But this attitude can bring calm into your relationship, can give you the stability that you require for the relationship. At the same time, give you the happiness that otherwise would have been lost. Okay? So, Karma Yoga is the preliminary sadhana for spiritual life. Okay? So, Krishna in Bhagavad Gita tells Arjuna, you do Karma Yoga. You are not fit now to go into a sannyasi and go and sit in the Himalayas. You have some job to do here. Alright? You do that job first properly. Right? And do it for my behalf. After that, if you are getting ready, then you can talk about it. But right now, you forget about that. You are not ready. So, grihastha is a time when you are not ready. You have not even experienced life so far as a person who is coming into it. And those who are coming into it will tell you that what I am telling you is the truth. I have probably not said it in an expansive way, but people will understand what I mean. Okay? It can be a very, very torturous thing for other people. And so what we do? We get out of it. Getting out of it is the easiest thing to do. It's not a big deal this way or that way. To say, okay, I get out from this. Okay. To stay in and be there and learn is the issue. It's not a conservative point of view. It's a very rational point of view. It's a rational point of view because you need that enjoyment. You need that fun. You need that company. You need to see the fun of seeing people growing. If this is all to be true, then Karma Yoga has to be used as an initial process, keeping it constantly in your mind. Constantly in your mind as you're going through grihastha. This way what happens, the mind gets prepared for the higher knowledge of self. Initially, without this preparation, you will not be able to move into the higher realms of self-knowledge. Hari Om Tat Sat.